Wie geht's? Mein Name ist Diptarka und das Video ist, you know what, I'll just switch to English, it's better for all of us. Hey guys, so what comes to your mind when you hear the word German or even Germany? Well, I can anticipate some of your answers. It might be their sausages, their beer, Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, Porsche, or even German bread for that matter. But I'm not here to talk about all these things. As someone who's never been to Germany or Europe or anywhere outside of India for that matter, there are some things about Germany and German culture which piqued my interest immensely. So that's what I'm here to talk about. So, as I was going through some of my study material of German, I couldn't help but notice some distinctive cultural differences between Indian culture, the one that we were born and brought up in, and German culture. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So to start off, this might sound very odd to us, but Germans have this weird, uncanny hobby of recycling. Many might call it their national pastime. In all seriousness, Germany has done some truly remarkable work when it comes to segregation of waste and recycling. They've become role models for the entire world for their methods of propagating a green revolution. And they have the biggest recycling system of PET bottles and glass bottles in the world. Well, that doesn't come off as a surprise because of the amount of beer they consume. So, another cultural difference that I would like to mention here is actually based on a very well known stereotype against Germans, which is that Germans are generally cold by nature. See, I don't know whether this is true or not, or to what extent this is true. And I also believe that we should not label a particular community. But from whatever little bit of research I've done and from whatever I've heard from my language professors and some of my friends who are there in Germany, they claim that Germans are very direct and straightforward by nature, which is a sharp contrast from being cold, which can also be misinterpreted as being cold. So, for instance, if someone asks you when you're in Germany, if someone asks you how you are doing, or wie geht es Ihnen, as you say in German, they expect you to be honest. You have to be brutally honest and tell them whether you're doing fine, whether you're doing good, or whether you're not doing well at all. Which is totally opposite from what we as Indians are taught, because throughout my childhood, I have been taught that you always say that you're fine, even when you're not. Till now, we've only talked about the major cultural differences between both the countries. But if there's one thing that we share with Germans, it is our love and passion for driving. Well, the only thing we lack is the space. Now, without outrightly offending people of either country by addressing the driving skills, I'll just state the obvious and say that Germany has a distinctive advantage over us in the name of the mighty Autobahn. This 13,000-kilometer long freeway is one of a kind. The reason why I say it's a dream come true for Indians is because A, it has speed limits that go up to 130 miles per hour, and B, it's the only freeway which has no speed limit at all in some parts. So, what's ironic is that even after Germany in general is very effective as an automobile producer, many of its citizens prefer traveling in public transport. Well, this proves to be a striking resemblance to what we see here in India, where most of our working class people use and avail public transport means. They have the S-Bahn, the U-Bahn, buses and tram services. So I believe as Indians, if we ever visit, we won't have a problem because we're kind of accustomed to that lifestyle. So that's about it with all the major cultural differences. Now, before we wrap up, there's this one article which I stumbled upon while researching for this video, and The article said that Germans have problems with patriotism and the national pride in their country as compared to other countries is towards the lower side. Now, this obviously came as a bit of a shock to me, but not really, because they mentioned that most Germans are still haunted by the ghosts of their past. Now, a population of 82 million people, and all of them having somewhat esteem issues, national esteem issues. The solution, I don't know, because I've never experienced something of that sort. Being an Indian throughout, we know to what extent we can be patriotic. So what do we do? Does population of 82 million people go for therapy? No. I guess we should just appreciate Germany as what it is now than what it was before. We're all aware of the horrors of World War II role, but let's not be primitive. Let's be appreciative and show some sort of positivity towards other countries in general. So that's what I'll end with. Cheers.